Let's talk about complicity. Complicity is the greatest treasure after God of the happiest couples. A word that is so often used, but also often misunderstood by people. Everybody wants a yes in life because the yes is the apex of approval. The Holy Text says the following: For all the promises of God in Him are yes, and in Him, amen, which means that let it be done. Amen is also another way to say yes. When you say amen, you say yes, I agree. For all the promises of God in Him are yes, and in Him, amen, to the glory of God through us. What is complicity? When we speak about complicity, what are we talking about? We want to say the following, which comes from the word accomplice, someone who partner themselves with another, which means you are side by side with the other person. You're together with that person in agreement, looking at the same direction, walking in the same direction, aligned objectives. For you to have complicity in your relationship means you to be in sync with each other, even to the point of you not being in need of using many words, and the other already knows what you want, even with a look or with no words at all. Of course, within a healthy marriage, you're not an accomplice of their mistakes. On the contrary, in a healthy marriage, if you notice that someone is taking a wrong path, you're not an accomplice with their fall, but you are a partner to warn them, to lead them to avoid falling into that mistake. So this complicity is for good, but it is this kind of unity that must exist between the couple, as we said, which is one of the greatest treasures to have because it only grows with time. Complicity is missing in many marriages, and this is why many marriages are poor. Not of money, but poor of unity, being in sync, and one goal. And this has become a great tragedy.
You see, nowadays, many people like to make fun. They say the following: no one understands women. For you to understand a woman, they say that you need to have a dictionary with plenty of pages, and no one will be able to understand them. People who say this are people who don't have complicity, because Renato understands me. But it was not always like this, because for a period of time we didn't have complicity. And this was something that was missing in our marriage. Because once you understand the other person, you understand why they are asking something of you. You know where they are coming from, why they are thinking like this. You are able to identify everything that they are talking about. But when you don't know them, you only know what they say. And there are things that we don't say. So many things that I know of Renato and he knows about me is because we have this complicity. I don't need to tell him everything, because as we live together and we work on this complicity every day, I don't have the need to say, because he knows. So this is complicity. You know what is going on with the other person. It's not each one living in their own world. I have my own challenges, you have yours, and you deal with it. So everything that happens with me happens with Renato, and whatever happens to him happens to me as well. So this is divine, and this is what marriage is about. And this is something that not everybody who is married have, because this is something you need to invest in. You need to work on this. This is not something automatic that you get married and you have this. There are people who have been married for years and they don't have complicity.
And what can hold back complicity? Let's understand a few things that make the development of complicity between a couple. What can hold it back? Complicity is intertwined with sharing. For you to be an accomplice, you need to share. You need to see beyond yourself. You need to look at the other and to think about us. But selfishness impedes this from happening. A selfish person, either man or woman, they only think about their needs. They tend to look at the I. It is what they want, what they think. So selfishness impedes complicity from being developed. And not only complicity, selfishness is fatal to any marriage. And a true marriage is fatal to a selfish person. They will not be able to survive selfishness or marriage. One will kill the other. Both cannot coexist. If you're well married, you will learn to stop being selfish. If you insist on being selfish, you'll be badly married or divorced. Both cannot live together. Complicity needs a broader, wider vision. You see beyond yourself, beyond one point of view. To be an accomplice, you must be well trained to see with the other person's eyes. You who are single, you are thinking to get married to someone, you cannot ask the person, are you generous? They will say yes. It's in looking at them if what they say agrees with what they do. Are they generous with you, with family, with their work, life in general? Are they someone who doesn't want to give, they only want to take? They only look to take advantage for themselves. They couldn't care less about others. You must pay attention to this. Someone who is greedy, someone who is only focused on their own interests, they will not know how to share. Especially in a marriage, they will want the other to live to fulfill their needs, because if they're stubborn, selfish, they cannot see when they are wrong or to say sorry. You won't have an accomplice in your life.
This is the type of person who has difficulty to live with others. It's someone who is hard to deal with because they have their own way. One thing that you were saying about selfishness, and we have seen this a lot lately, especially young people who say, now I am only thinking about my career. I am thinking about my studies, and I don't want to think about having a relationship now. So, in other words, you can think about anything else but your career. Is this not a reason that you are unhappy in love? Because you are investing in being selfish, because you are not investing in giving to others. You're just thinking about you, your future, your studies, in your reputation. Nowadays, people are investing in this. And people are telling the youth, you need to be independent. Invest on selfishness. Invest in selfishness. Invest in being the center of the universe. That's why we see the life of many people being a failure regarding their love life because it doesn't work.
You are in a relationship and there's no complicity. or very little. So, how can you produce complicity in a marriage that started badly and 10, 20 years into the marriage and there's no complicity between the both of you? Complicity involves sharing. Sharing what? Everything. You will no longer think about you only. You have to share everything that is yours with your spouse. So if you aim to look for opportunities to share healthy habits, things that you do. This is our moment. We are going to watch this together. We are going to do that together. Are we going to walk? So let's walk together. Whatever you can do together, not only you will share your time, your minds, but above all, you will be creating memories together. Not only will you share your time, your mind, and here's where the complicity of looking at each other and already understanding one another happens. Why? Because your memories are connected. You are writing your story together. The couple must learn to laugh together about the same things, having together a list of many things which both find funny. They must learn to laugh at each other. Yes, laugh at each other, not with sarcasm to harm the other, to diminish the other, but in a light way, of things that only they laugh about. Others don't want to understand, but they do. Why? Because they are accomplices. She knows what I'm laughing about, I know what she's laughing about, and everything's good. No one else needs to understand that. This is complicity. If today's video helped you and you know someone that could benefit from it, share it with them, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, you may do so now. See you later.